Oh, Shoaib Khan, you're the first. Shoaib says, how are you doing, sir? Thank you. I just wanted to ask why I'm dreaming about my ex. I broke up 3 months ago. I'm from Dehradun, Gurgaon. That's India, yes. Well, Shoaib, I think we discussed this once before, and I explained it in detail. There's no particular reason. There's no mystic to it. There's no divine things about it. It's just that you are a heterosexual male, you love women, and you think about sex all day long. And when you do that, the most recent girlfriend that you had will come to your mind, because that's the one that you had feelings about, and that's the most recent one. And naturally, that would be all in your mind during the day. And when you sleep, your mind enters into a very calm state where everything that you have thought about during the past months or days or weeks becomes easily reflected. And randomly, most of the time, the one that you think the most of eventually comes to your mind, negative or positive. And in this case, about your girlfriend, well, that's, you dream about her. Who do you want to dream? That's the one you broke up with. So that's natural. But there is no meaning to it. There's no interpretation of, oh, there's a divine connection. No, none of that. It's all because an event happened and it occupies your mind. You think about it all day long. And naturally, when the ripples of your mind is calm, reflection becomes more clear, and things that are all floating around in your consciousness, it manifests itself in the way of dream and whatever that the dream might be. In this case, it's even stronger because it's about a girl. It's about your ex, so naturally. Oh, is it lagging? Okay. Well, I guess I'll know if it's from here or not. Usually at night times, it'll be a little challenging because the amount of light, I guess, makes a difference in clarity of the picture. Let me see if I can get more light here so it will remedy some of the lagging. Until others show up, maybe I can add one more light. So maybe extra light will kind of help with not lagging. Rohan, have I remembered it right? Mr. Consistency, good morning. 7:56 in South Africa. 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's exactly 9 hours difference. You're 9 hours ahead, right? So, did I remember your name? Rohan, right? Is it? 27? South Africa? Am I correct? Now the question is, why are you waking up so early on Sunday morning? What's wrong with you? Is it lagging there, Rohan, or is it okay? Like the resolution and the sound and all that? Slightly choppy. Let me see if I change these arrangement of these lights would make a difference. Is that any better or no? No difference. Shoaib, you're back. Is it not lagging anymore? Shoaib says, which kind of tea do you drink? It looks so fresh and warming. Yeah, it's chamomile. Seems good now. Okay, good, Rohan. So that means one of these lights, which is stronger, should be in the middle. Then we'll have a better overall lighting. Sid says, good morning, Uncle Mehran. Good morning, dear Sid. How are you? Says, love these early morning talks. Got up just now. Yeah. I wonder why you guys get up so early on Sunday. Isn't it time to rest a little bit? Wow, I've never seen a moth this beautiful. You know, these little nut moths, you know, moths that you find in dried nuts. Wow. That's cute. Let's see, maybe I can capture it. Well, I can't focus on it because it's right on the window. So, but it's kind of beautiful. Sid says, how come so early today? It's Saturday night. Remember, my plan is Friday nights, like Friday noon. I try to have one, which I had one yesterday. No, I didn't have one yesterday, but nighttime, last night, I had one, same time. This is not Saturday. I had one noontime, or a little after that, about 1:30. And then I have one at nights in order to reach places like New Zealand and Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, India, which they usually can't, meet up with us when it's 12:30 noon Vancouver time. Europe can. So I'm kind of adding a little live talks here and there to kind of be available to some time zones that you can't usually make up, meet up with us. It says it is 9 a.m. Sleep like a baby. Good. Male 31, Estonia. Yeah. Oh, I see. You're. It's a question. So, how come so early today? I thought you're asking me why am I having a early show. Yeah, that's a very good idea, he says. Well, somehow we gotta get this channel moving, we gotta. So I'm doing some things. Hopefully the site supposedly is supposed to be finished by Monday. A few little things here and there should be fixed. And then I have to have that SEO thing done for it. And then I've hired someone who knows what he's doing to take care of the social media, and that I'll meet with them on Monday, and we'll do some advertising on Facebook and so on. So I'm increasing the live talks a little bit on weekends to reach other zones, and hoping that we will eventually reach more people. Shoaib says, I will surely meet you in a year or two. I will be coming to Canada for my master's. Oh, good job. What you studying, Shoaib? Rohan says, yeah, it's nice to watch you in the morning. The other streams are at 2 in the morning, so it makes it hard to catch sometimes. Yes, but so far, I have 1 or 2 from Australia, 1 from South Africa, which is you, and sometimes Philippines and sometimes Singapore, but Hong Kong, which I used to have more, I don't see them. The problem with our channel is if they think of it as a breakup channel only, then when they get over it and move on, they don't seem to understand that we're a lot more than breakup channel. So as soon as I change by the way, the new name is chosen. The new name for the channel is chosen. So as soon as I'm qualified to change it, because you can only do it every 90 days, and in the past 90 days I did it 3 times, which was in one same day. I did it 3 times change. So that's the what is it, quota for that. So the name is going to be changed. It's no longer going to be Breakup Cures and You. So I'm excited about that. So we'll have a unified name, and the name would represent what we do here, which is a lot more than just breakup stuff, but breakup is one major part of it. Mayavati Banerjee. Sounds Italian to me, but I'm not sure. It says, oh, wait a second. There it is. You remember it. It says, I'm 22, neuropsy student doing my master's. Yes, but that doesn't tell me where you are located. I know are you male or female? So I need M or F, or whatever your gender is, and then age, and then where you tuning in from. So I'll get to know a little bit about your culture that way. Okay. Japan. Really? Your name is not Japanese though. What happened? We never had good experience with people who say they're from Japan. Usually they turn out to be trolls. I hope you're not a troll. And if you are, well, then we'll find out eventually. You might be, yeah, I thought maybe Italian or Indian, the name is. Yes, I think so, Sid. She says, I'm Indian, born in India, but currently in Japan. Well, okay, we'll wait till we hear more from you, because last few people from Japan, they turned out to be trolls, and we had to kick him out. So I hope that you're genuinely from India, and they're always respectful and good people. It's my experience. And the ones who are saying they're from Japan, they're actually not Japanese. There's some troll from somewhere. They choose to say they're from Okinawa or from somewhere in Japan, or then they turn out to be just cussing away. So I'm not sure, and I hope that you're just enjoying the channel. And Mayavati says, sir, could you help? And please, well, let's see what you would like to ask, because I'm really hesitant. When it says Japan, it just it brings about to my, because usually Japanese at this hour, what is it, 10, 12, that's 3 o'clock Sunday, I'm not sure. Anyhow, go ahead, we'll find out if you are genuinely a subscriber or not. Anyone, the ones who are here, if you like, please click on the like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And Shoaib says, I'm working as a software developer, fresher, so gaining some work experience first. Good. Rohan says, I think you're right, but isn't it human nature to get the most out of someone or something and move on once they're content? Yes, of course. But what I'm trying to say is that because the channel is kind of has the title of breakup, then when they get over it, they don't think the channel has anything else to offer, which our conversations go beyond breakups in 400-500 videos, and it can always go to different tangents if the question is called for, which sometimes it is. So that's why. And Mayavati says from Kolkata. All right, great. So you're welcome to let us know your question. Dudley, you haven't been around for so long. Says, good morning, Mehran. 1 a.m. here in southern U.S. You know, southern U.S. is a big place. Which part? What are you talking about? And how come you never showed up? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Let me just try to track something here while we're waiting for questions. All right, let's see. Dudley says, I have a job now where I work crazy hours and crazy shifts. Ah, I see. Okay. And Mayavati says, sir, I had another question. You haven't given the first question, so this is the first question, not another question. Says, my parents want me to turn home, stay there, work from there. I want to research elsewhere. We can't seem to agree. They worry about me, so they are not wrong. Should give the research here up and move near home. How do I make them agree without making them unhappy? What are you studying, Mayavati? And how long have you been in Japan? And do you speak Japanese? Psychology. You went to Japan to study psychology. In what language? But don't you have to speak fluent Japanese to study in Japan, in their universities? She says, no, I shifted to Delhi to study psychology. I'm here in an exchange program. Well, I thought you said that You said Japan to begin with. You said female, Japan. And then now you say you're in India. Are we sure that you're genuinely interested in this conversation? Or are you one of those people who say they're from Japan, but they're actually putting us on? I just don't want to play investigator here. I just want to make sure if we're going to waste our time for this discussion or not. I'm sorry, but this is what has happened in some of our live talks. Because you sounded like you're in Japan studying, and your parents want you to go home and stay with them, and you said, should I give up the research and go there? And now you say you're actually there. So yeah, I understand, Sid. Then she says she's studying in India, but now exchange student. So exchange student, are you studying in English or Japanese? You know, this is what happens when we have a few bad experiences on this channel. Then good people like her, we doubt. Anyhow, let me just address your question. Regardless, we'll figure it out. You, as I understand it for now, you are an exchange student in Japan, and you want to, no problems, you just want to be away from home to do your research, do your studies. And you wonder how you can convince your parents without making them upset. Perhaps you know your parents, so you know the stories they have told you since they were young. And try to find out if they told you a story that was something they wanted to do against the will of their parents. Use that and say, Mom, Dad, do you remember? You wanted to do something else and your parent wanted you to do certain things, and you finally convinced them. You went through, or you didn't convince them, you ended up doing what your parents wanted you to do. But all your life, I bet you've always been questioning, what if I would have been able to do that? What if my parent allowed me to actually do that? And maybe you can bring that question into their mind. Say, look, I know you guys love me and you want me to be safe and be around you. That's natural instinct and desire of parents, of good parents like you who love me. But then you can say, what if all my life I would think, what if my parents did let me to go to some other country, get some more experience other than the experience that I would have in India, and explore a little bit further about this life and learn a little bit more about myself by the experiences that I go through there. And try to reason with them rather than arguing with them. Try to help them to understand it from your point of view. But you got to understand what they're saying is right and what you're saying is right. It's just that you're in two different parts of the mountain. In other words, if two friends climb the mountain and they each go and say, okay, we'll meet in about an hour or two, and then at the end of the day they meet each other and they say, oh yeah, I was on that mountain and the view from the mountain was this, that. And the other one says, no, the view from the mountain was this, that, and this. And the other one says, no, I was there, that wasn't it. But the problem is that both are right, but they're standing on different parts of the mountain. One of them is in this elevation, looking at whatever it can be visible from that elevation, from that angle. The other one is standing on this elevation or even at a different angle on the mountain and obviously sees different things from the city view. And they're both right. The only way is for them to switch places. This one goes here and this one goes here. And then they can see from each other's point of view. They can look at the view from each other's point of view, and then they can understand, oh yeah, I understand what you're saying. Same thing. Now, your parents are looking at it from a different angle than you're looking at it. They're looking at it from the angle of parents. Love their children, want to protect her, want her to be around them, want her to be safe, and they don't want to let her go to the unknown. And what they know seems clear to them, what they don't know seems dangerous, and they don't want their child to be subjected to that. From your point of view, you're young, you want to experience, you want to learn things, and through experience you will learn, and you get exposed to other things that might be out there for you to research, learn, and live. So you're both right. But then unless you become a parent and understand what they're saying, and unless they learn and remember their childhood and how important it was for them to be able to do things the way they would see it, it will be a useless argument. They will not see it from your point of view unless you try to help them see it from your point of view. Help them to remember their youth. Help them to remember what was important to them. Help them to remember the things they wanted to do and they weren't allowed to, and all their life they thought about it. What if I could have done that? And tell them, don't make me do that. I want to bring the best version of myself. I've been in India, I know all these things, but I want to go to another country and learn all that stuff. But we'll just arrange it and make sure that it's going to be a safe environment and, you know, campus on school and all that sort of. So you got to find the happy grounds that way. I hope that is something helpful to you. And Mr. Consistency asks, how is the tea? Lukewarm. Angelica says, female, 28, Philippines. Hello, Mehran. Someday I think I have to move on because my ex isn't the same as and doesn't want me anymore. But some days I reminisce and think of the time he treated me well and wanted me with him. The thought of the possibility of him changing back into how he was is preventing me from letting go. If he wanted to be changed, he would have. If he wanted to change back to how it was, he wouldn't have changed to what it is. He changed now, she says, so what is stopping him from changing back to how he was before? You tell me. What is stopping? And how long are you going to wait for that? And is there any time limit on that? Are you sure he's going to be changing? Because those changes are voluntarily, right? He's got no mandate, no pressure, no penalty. Why should he change? On what basis? So don't waste your time on wishful thinking. Focus on why he left, and focus if it was reasonable or not. Focus on what kind of person he is now, and if he's changed, why should he change again to what it used to be when you guys were together? Just take it for actuality of what it is. If he changes, then you will maybe consider it. But until then, why should you hang around? For what? You don't know if he changes or not. So move on. Mayavati says, thank you, sir. Well, my pleasure. And I'm glad that you are simply as genuinely as you said. And my apologies if I thought that because you're saying from Japan, but you're not Japanese and you're a troll. So it happened to us before, and it's never a good experience and I usually block them. But anyhow, thank you very much, and hope you will join us again whenever you want. You're welcome, and hope that you enjoyed a little talk here. So stick around. Maybe there are other questions you want to ask, or other questions that others will ask, and perhaps it would also be helpful to you. Mr. Consistency Rohan says, sir, I know this isn't about breakups. Yeah, no problems. But what are your views or thoughts on US being the only clever, smart being in the universe? Well, that's definitely cannot be true. Because everybody in every country in their own minds and understanding thinks that they're also smart, and perhaps smarter than the other people. But the key question is, why should we think that we're smarter than other people rather than just focusing on doing whatever it is that we can do at the best possible way? That's all. Just doing our best. I am the best, and this and that, I'm better than you. It's all nonsense. And US has this history of, oh, you say what? Wait, not USA, haha, like us as humans. Okay, let's go back to your question then. Yeah, because it didn't make sense for me, sis. I thought you mean, because it's the way it is today, actually. The US government thinks that they're the best in everything, especially with their present leader, who is best in everything. And nobody knows this and that better than he does. So Mr. Consistency says, sir, I know this isn't about breakups. First of all, the questions here, it doesn't have to be about breakups. That's one thing. So secondly, you say, but what are your views or thought on us being the only clever, smart beings in this universe? Well, that's stupid. How could we be the smartest or the only being in this universe? It's so stupid that I can't even, I'm sure you agree with me. It's just silly. Look at the stars. There are billions and billions and billions and billions and billions. Did I say billions and billions? There's still not enough stars in the sky. So out of all that, there's one Earth that allows or is equipped or it's suitable for survival of living beings. And could there not be other beings who actually their system is tuned for a different kind of planet that maybe doesn't have oxygen but has other gases, but they function on that? And the idea that we are the only one here gives you the idea that there is no role chaos played in creating this planet, in this humanity on this planet. There's no role of evolution is considered, and only this planet was chosen by some power to put humans here or whatever, just obviously there are enough questions to prove this, not just a logic of it, which is acceptable. The pyramids and many other amazing things in this world, and also the notion of, Roswell and then Area 51, and the fact that actually, I believe it was one of the ex-ministers of Canada that came on television and actually said that he has, if I'm not mistaken, said he met with aliens and that they're here and they live among us, something like that. And that is quite interesting, and I wouldn't doubt it. Why not? It's a big universe. And there's so many possibilities, and why would it be only us in this world? And in fact, I think we're not the smartest. If we are not alone, which I'm sure we are not alone, we're not the smartest. I mean, everything we have here is so primitive. So primitive. Look at our Medicare, medicine, and the way we cure each other. I mean, the science of medicine, how advanced it is, but yet still so backward, because you can imagine this should be much easier to fix things, whether it's blood pressure or diabetes and all that. You know, it can all be fixed from the roots of it, rather than with medicine. This whole business of making money out of medicine has made companies stupid and slow and not really want to come up with the real solutions, but just keep a person alive so they can keep selling him drugs, medicine. So everything is so primitive here, while to us, compared to 1,000 years ago, it's so advanced. But yet, compared to other planets, I think other planets who are much more advanced than we are, we're very primitive in every shape or form. Mr. Consistency, well, Rohan says, yes, I agree billions with you. So what do you think the human population is going to do if we have first contact? Oh, well, I think while the governments are mostly stupid and full of hot air on themselves and proud of themselves, but still they're not stupid enough to actually take any improper action. And I think they would have learned enough to want to communicate and see what's the intention of the first contact is. And I believe the first contact has already been made. I don't think we're waiting for the first contact. What we're waiting is for the governments to announce that they've had first contact. In fact, I tell you a simple story, which that's as closest source as I can get to. Are you guys ready? If you want to hear this, put yes. I want to see if you guys are in tune and you want to hear it. So show me how many people want to hear this factual story that I want to tell you. Because factual, because the source of it is very credible. That's it? Just two of you? Two of you guys? What about the rest? Let me create some. There we go. Angelica, that's 3. We need 2 more before the ride starts. We don't have any, do we? So what happened to all these other people that we were talking? There are 9 of us here. Only 3 want to hear about this. The rest don't? Well, I'm forced to not to listen to majority. Majority don't want to hear it, so therefore, the hell with it. Let's go on to the next question. So, do we have any other question? No? Don't have any question. What happened? What are these 9 people doing here? So let me just, now that we don't have a question, then I feel free to talk about it. So the story is this. My friend, my father had many of his friends were generals in the Air Force. And they were very close. Like when I was a kid, we would sometimes in summer times we would go to one of the bases that one of my father's friends you know, they were mostly living on bases with aircrafts and all that. So we would go to the base, which was about maybe 800 kilometers away from the capital, the city that I was from. We would drive, whole family, and would go to the base, and then we would be entertained, and the friends there, and everybody, and so on. And this continued for a long time, of course, for always, all throughout my father's life. And they would come to our home, we would go to their homes, and so on and so forth. And eventually they were all advanced in levels, and they were all generals. So when they would gather in our house to play bridge, when it was my father's turn to be the host, they're like altogether 5 or 6 of them. They would take turns and play bridge and enjoy, and they're all generals. One of them, which was also a very close friend of my father, in his own personal report, witnessed unidentified flying saucer. He was apparently the radar on Iranian Air Force catches a few unidentified aircrafts. That's what they thought. So they lift off 2 aircrafts. I think at the time it was F-14s. And they go up and they make a report. And one of the actual aircrafts where this general at the time, he decided to go up himself. And when they saw these lights, 3 lights that were very quick in their movements, when they locked on them, they locked missile on them because they were in the territory and they were not complying, they were not responding in communication. They locked on target. As soon as they locked it, all things to do with firing missiles shut down. The aircraft didn't fall, the aircraft was functional, but only the things to do with the missiles to target that unidentified objects shut down. They could not believe the advancement of what happened there, and they followed them until to the point that they simply were too fast and they flew away. This is the closest source for me that it just put all doubts away, and I believe it. And it actually is, I think it's somewhere in YouTube, there is some kind of a report on it, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember it exactly, really. And just let me, one moment guys, I think I have, this smell of cigar sometimes comes through the window that even I closed it, but still the smell of it is here. So so anyhow, that's the story. And Angelica says, Mehran, do you think, just one more, let me, there's Sadelin before Angelica, let me read that. Male 25, Montenegro, welcome. So I dream about my ex every night, then stop thinking about her every day. And you won't dream about it. I fight through the day to move on, but when I sleep, dreams are killing me. I'm waking up with pain. Well, yeah, you should just let go. How should I feel after 6 weeks? No contact, no talking, no seeing on social media, etc. Sadelin, why should you feel that it is imperative for you to be with this girl? What does this girl have? Honestly, what does she have? She doesn't have anything. It is you, as a heterosexual male, who's been programmed in your genes to love women, to pursue women, to want a female. That is not a doing of her. That is your program in your genes. So it is not an evidence of speciality of her. It's just the way it is for you. But you interpret that desire you have for female to be a credit, specific credit, exclusive to her and her efforts for being so qualified. But it's not true. She hasn't done anything. It's just the way it is for you. Right? If you focus on that, you will see that there's no reason you should be thinking of her so much. 25 years old. You think the world stops and starts because of her. It doesn't. You think about her in that way because you are a heterosexual male. You love women. You love sex, intimacy. And to you, she is suddenly a symbol of your manhood. But you're a man whether she's around or not. Go on, get on with life and meet other women and interact with them, converse with them, get to know each other, find things in common, and live your life. You can stop that. It's not something that you have no power on it. You just think that way. Now, Angelica says, Mehran, do you think you can offer email counseling? Actually, Angelica, it's something that I've already considered, and it's going to be in the new site. And it's going to be a new service that is going to be on site, that people can write their questions, and it's going to be pay per email. So instead of paying $100 per hour for the consultation on Skype, they can pay something, I don't know, $10, $15 or something like that, and send their email. I think it's, I don't know, $10 or something like that. I'm not sure, I don't remember. It's a nominal fee. And so then I would record the answer rather than typing it, and then email that recording to their question. So the answer is yes. And Angelica says, so that the rate can be a little bit cheaper compared to, yes, absolutely. I'm not sure what price we put there. Is it $10, $15, $20, $25? I don't know. But I think we like to keep it very inexpensive. But every email is got the price tag on it. So I like to keep it inexpensive because maybe somebody has just one question, and then $10 you can afford it. But if I put it at $25, and then it would be a package of, let's say, 3 questions, maybe someone doesn't have 3 questions, and $25 would be too much. So we'll see. Still deciding on that. Angelica says, oh, he's talking to Sadly. Consistency. Rohan says, thank you for the story. Can I ask how old you were at that time? Well, I learned that when I was much older because I was younger when I heard it first, because he was actually talking about it in one of the, I think he was talking about it at the bridge table with the other generals and my father. They were I think, or it was a gathering, or it was, I don't know. Anyhow, I heard him talk about it. Oh, oh, no, no, no. They actually were in our house in Canada, because that general lives in Los Angeles now, and they were visiting my father in my father's home before my father passed, and that was like, my father passed 2011, and I think they were there, I don't know, 10, 15 years earlier. Yeah, 10, 15 years earlier, 10, 12 years earlier, they were here in Vancouver, him and his wife, and they were my father's guest. And at dinner table, it was a conversation. So I was old then, but I think I had heard about it before, maybe through a report that was on internet about that incident. I don't really remember, but yeah, it was here. It was here in my father's house they were talking about. Angelica says, or maybe upload a recording of the response to YouTube. I love that idea. Uploading the recorded response on YouTube, I don't think that would be appropriate. Why? Because the person who actually asked the question may not want it to be public. Unless I don't use the names, but then no, I think we'll keep that private for them, because it would be maybe one question, and is exclusive to them, I think, the one who is paying for it, I guess. But sending a video, not a video, a recording, not a video, it's a voice recording. So I receive it in writing, the question, then I would voice record it and send it through an email, MPT, I think that would be MPT3 or MP2, something like that, I don't know. And I've done that before when I was tired of writing. Somebody who asked me a question, it was a long question, and it was still free. So I said, I'm not going to write anymore. So I recorded and sent it, and it was, you know, much more convenient for me. Let me see, guys, if I have this smell of smoke out of the way. No, thank you. So I guess we gotta have that handled. So Shoaib says, are you scared of ghosts? No, ghosts are not bad if they're there. And Sadeldin says, will I feel better for 2 months without meeting other girls? Why should you not meet other girls? Go ahead and meet them. Meet other girls. Live your life. Don't hang around. Don't hang around just for her to come back or something. Don't make her to be the boss of your life. It was a relationship, it didn't work out. Move on. Can you move on alone? Of course you can move on alone. Why not? You can do anything you want in this life. You're 25 years old. At this age, you have no business thinking about, you know, marriage or anything like that anyhow. And if a girl doesn't pay attention to you, then that means she's not deserving your attention. If she doesn't pay attention to you, she doesn't deserve your attention for her. If she's not with you, she doesn't qualify to be with you. That's how you should be thinking. Move on with your life. Move on. You're a man. This is how it is for us men. We go through lots of hardship, lots of difficulties. We get rejected this way or that way for whatever reason they like it, but you should never lose your confidence about how good quality you are. And if somebody doesn't choose you, that's not because you're not good enough. It's because they don't have the understanding and expectation and standards high enough to understand your quality and then be jubilant to get to know you. That's how you should think. You seem to be a wonderful guy. So, live your life. Be confident. All right. Rohan says, I think he could talk a ghost out of being scary and change its mind. And Sadildin says, thank you, mister. You're welcome, dear. So, guys, looks like we hit all the questions and we don't have any more. So at this point, I want to say thank you very much for being here. I love you all. I appreciate you giving me the time to share this with you. And hopefully you have already clicked like before you go. And Angelica says, Mehran, it's hard to think I will find another good man for me. Oh, it's hard to think, but that's not reality. Actuality has nothing to do with what you think. It happens whether you want it or not. It's not up to you. Whether you want it or not, that's going to happen. So, relax. Says, before I met this ex, I have gone on dates with 10 jerks first. Too much time wasted. Yeah, it's okay. It's part of life. You go out with jerks and you learn, and you then learn how to pick them better. And eventually you become an expert and see all the flags early enough, and then you will select better. Don't worry. Just live your life. Be busy with life. What is supposed to come to you, it will. Don't try to look for it. Just be busy with life. Take care of yourself. Be in good health. Be fit, do exercise. Build yourself. Accomplish your tasks. Do your job, whatever it is. And when the time is right, you will meet someone nice. That's just the way it is, whether you want it or not. And Rohan says, thanks for the enlightenment. Have a good rest of the evening. Thank you. This is much love from Africa, and thank you very much, very much. And love back to Africa. Thank you for the live chat. Shoaib says, see you next time. Yes, thank you very much. Angelica says, for your time, Mehran. You're quite welcome. Okay, guys, love you all, and be good to yourself and to the others. I hope to talk to you tomorrow, 12:30 or so, Vancouver time. Until then, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.